baseball here, and we start off.
We are in Springfield, Minnesota, where 4 days of baseball at this park will crown a champion in Class C, Minnesota Amateur, the champion of 2020. We've got Buffalo against Foley, and it will be all for you right here on PrepSpotlight.tv right after this.
Ramon Vega Jr. batting second.
The 2020 Class C Minnesota Amateur Baseball Tournament is brought to you in partnership with the Minnesota Baseball Association and presented to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 is the hub for all things sports with the Xfinity Sports Zone. And Wings Financial. We're for people like you.
The third baseman, Ethan Hansen.
Andy Price and Dave Whitman with you here in Springfield as we have the Buffalo Bulldogs in their gray jerseys and white pants being introduced right now down the third base line. Buffalo coming in, winning 2 games in the state tournament. They scored 8 runs in each of their first 2 games. They beat Fort Ripley in the first game of the tournament 2 weekends ago. In Milroy last week here in Springfield, they scored 8 more in beating Morris. 8-2 managed by Corey Braun. They had made it to the Sweet 16 the last time they were in the tournament. Now they're trying to advance on to the final 8 in Class C. Heading out to the field right now are the Foley Lumberjacks in their two-tone blue tops, darker blue with the lighter powder blue lettering and the shoulders, the blue caps, and white trousers is how Foley comes out to the field, managed by Mike Byer, who's been part of state championship teams in Regal and Granite Falls, and now he has got his team that started in 2014 onto the third round of the Sweet 16. Here at this ballpark 2 weeks ago tonight, it looked like they were not going to make it out. They were down 7-2 to Hanska late. They scored 5 runs and a run in each of the last 5 innings, and then win it in the 11th inning. Then last week they shut out New Prague 4-0 to get here to the Sweet 16. So Foley and Buffalo are here and ready for baseball. We're going to step aside and listen to the national anthem, where we have a 12-year-old birthday boy, Leo Hovland, singing the anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket red glare, though bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well, happy birthday, Leo Hovland, and his 12th year. Well, he's now lived 12 years, heading into his 13th year, and what a great way to start it off by singing the national anthem in the state baseball tournament. So let's get you to the lineups right now. Batting first will be the Buffalo Bulldogs, and they come to the plate, as I mentioned, scoring 8 runs in their last 2 games. Center fielder Ramon Vega Jr. will be leading off, playing center field. Colton Haight, the catcher, is batting second. Jake Dusky, who's been running all over the base paths in these 2 games, he'll be playing second base, batting third. Brett Renshaw homered 3-run bomb here in Springfield last week in their win. He'll be in right field in the cleanup spot. J.D. O'Donnell in left field batting fifth. Kai Brick is in at first base and batting sixth. Ethan Hansen, the high schooler, just began his senior year, or will be beginning his senior year at Buffalo. He is at third base batting fifth. Tommy Exton is playing his first game here in the tournament, has not made an appearance, and he is at DH. And Noah Christensen, the shortstop, will be batting ninth for the Buffalo Bulldogs. They will be sending to the mound John Early. He'll be DH for. So we're getting ready for a ceremonial first pitch right now. We'll show you, talk to you about the defense for the Foley Lumberjacks. Pitching is J.T. Harn. Harn has been phenomenal in the 2 games. He's drafted out of Luxembourg, and he came in to pitch the last 8 innings of the game. Their extra innings win here in Springfield 2 weeks ago, and then last week a complete game shutout in their win over New Prague. Harn will take to the hill. He's a lefty, and he had the Orioles of New Prague off balance the entire game last week in Milroy. The defense around the infield for Foley, Mitch Keeler's at first base. At second base is will be Mitch Logering. At shortstop is the manager's son, that is Drew Byer, son of Mike Byer. At third base for the Foley Lumberjacks is Brandon Biskins. A starter in left field that came into the game last week in our game that we had with Foley in Milroy, Kyle Kipka, came in midway. He'll be playing at left field. And in center field is Joe Zawicki, and in right field for the Foley Lumberjacks is their leadoff hitter, Noah Winkleman. So we are ready to go here from a beautiful ballpark. It's Riverside Field in Springfield, and I will tell you this, it couldn't be a better night for baseball, especially when you're talking about September the 4th. Just perfect temperatures, a perfect sky, and not a breeze blowing at this moment in time. So we're going to start things off here in the top of the first inning, and it is Harn facing Ramon Vega Jr. And the first pitch is in for a strike on the corner, and Harn gets it started at 0-1. Vega Jr. is 3 for 8 so far in the tournament. In the 2 games, he has scored 3 runs, so playing the role of the table setter. The off-speed pitch gets away from the catcher, Von Wald, and the count is 1-1 strike. Buffalo made it to the Sweet 16 in 2017. This iteration of Buffalo Town Ball, the Bulldogs, about 20 years old now. The Merchants were the original team, disbanded, and then another squad coming together at the turn of this century. Count 1-2 on the breaking ball from Harn. Facing Vega Jr., and the 1-2 pitch is chopped to the third baseman. Biskins has it. He's going to fire across to Keeler, and the first out is recorded in this game, 5-3. Colton Haight, the catcher.
Number 18, the catcher, Colton Haight.
Haight, through the first 2 tournament games, 3 for 9 with 3 runs and an RBI. 333 with my math skills in full bloom there. 1 out, Harn the pitcher. And the lefty delivers for a strike. Harn looking in at his catcher, Von Wald, again, drafted out of Luxembourg. And the pitch misses outside. Off speed, 1-1 strike. Haight, the right-handed hitting catcher, batting second. He's been in that spot for the first 2 games. And the ball is hit to the outfield. Zawicki is there, and Zawicki hardly has to move, and he has it land in his glove for the second out. Looking at the dimensions here, this is a little different than the Milroy ballpark I've been calling the last 2 weeks. It's 318 down the right field line. It gets to 370 into the right center field gap, and then 452 all the way to straightaway center field. 385 to left center, and then 342 down the line. Two outs, and the number 3 hitter is Jake Dusky. Dusky has had a very productive first 2 games, 6 for 9, 5 runs, 5 stolen bases, a home run, and a double. Count 1 ball and 1 strike to Dusky. He's the second baseman. Harn, the pitcher for the Foley Lumberjacks. Breaking ball misses outside, and it's 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Harn kicks and delivers, and it's ripped to the gap. Chasing after it is the left fielder. It's not going to get it, and that will get to the gap, and extra bases for Dusky. So his second double of the tournament, his 7th hit in 10 appearances. He's hitting 700 right now in the tournament, and a 2-out double to the gap.
Double by Dusky brings up the right fielder, number 27, Brett Renshaw.
Brett Renshaw coming to the plate. He's up to the cleanup spot. He'd been batting in the 6th and 7th spot the first couple games, but he's up hitting 4th, and part of it might be because he left the yard here at Riverside Park last week, a 3-run home run that helped Buffalo open up a pretty decent lead early on against Morris, and they cruised to that 8-2 win. Renshaw, 2 for 7 so far in the tournament, a home run and 3 RBI, all coming in on that 1 swing. No balls and a strike, 2 outs. Runner at second base is Dusky. Renshaw going without the batting gloves, and he hits the curveball up the line. It's going to be a tough play. Third baseman Biskins fields it. They're going to come home as the runner's safe, and that's going to score the run. Very aggressive base running by Dusky. And Renshaw, who beats out the infield single, will score the run to give Buffalo the lead. They have taken the lead early in the first inning in all 3 of their games now. Now this, of course, is the top of the first inning, but they jump out and score the run.
Batting 5th, the left fielder.
So give Renshaw the RBI on that as Dusky off and running with 2 outs, keeps running, and he rounds third without even hesitating and scores as they throw the ball to first on the slow chopper. Renshaw beats it out for the single, and there's a run across. Now, Harn gave up a run in that game 2 weeks ago when he pitched against Hanska. He wasn't perfect across the board in terms of shutout innings of the 8 innings he pitched. He did throw 9 shutout innings last week. So that's not the first run that Harn has given up. Up at the plate now is J.D. O'Donnell, left fielder, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike to J.D. He's 4 for 9 so far on the 2 tournament games, and he has 2 runs batted in. So a runner at first and 2 out, and 1 run in for Buffalo, and the ball is lifted out towards right field. Winkleman is there, and he takes 5 steps in and makes the catch. But a run is across on 2 base hits and 1 runner left on base, so we go to the bottom of the first inning, and Buffalo jumps on top. Foley will get their first cracks at the plate. When we come back, you're watching PrepSpotlight.tv coverage of the state baseball tournament.
1 run on 2 hits.
All right, let's take a look at the starting pitcher. That's John Early for Buffalo, the Bulldogs. Early on the hill, he has started both games. He has 1 win. He's 1-0 in the 2 games. Last week in their win over Morris, he only pitched 4 innings, so he did not collect the win. Looking at the lineup for the Foley Lumberjacks, Noah Winkleman is batting first. Drew Byer will be batting second. He's the manager's son. Mitch Keeler, the first baseman, will bat third. The designated hitter, Tyler Midas, is batting fourth. Mitch Logering is at second base, and he'll be batting fifth. The catcher, Ian Von Wald, bats sixth. Brandon Biskins at third base bats seventh. Kyle Kipka, the left fielder, bats eighth. And Joe Zwicky is the center fielder, and he will be batting ninth. So it'll be Early versus Winkleman here in the bottom of the first inning in Springfield, and a 1-0 lead for the Buffalo Bulldogs over the Foley Lumberjacks. First pitch from Early is over for a strike. Early, a workhorse. They'll also throw another John Weber, a lefty, who will come in, has been coming in middle of the game. So count quickly 0-2 to Winkleman. Noah hitting 400 in the tournament. That's easy math, 4 for 10. He has scored 2 runs. Again, they won last week 4-0 over New Prague. Pitch outside, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Good fastball from early. The Foley Lumberjacks came into existence in 2014. Started up by manager Mike Beyer, and the 1-2 pitch is fouled off over Beyer's head and into parking lot. Out of play, way out of play. They've made the tournament now 3 straight years. It's their first trip into the Sweet 16, and Foley looking to see if they can also move on to the quarterfinals of the Class C tournament. Teams will have to win 4 games this weekend to win the championship. Round of 16 through today and tomorrow, quarterfinals and semifinals on Sunday. Pitch inside, and the count now runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes early to Winkleman in the bottom of the first inning. Everybody seems to be playing straight away on the leadoff hitter Winkleman, and the full count pitch is on the way, and shortstop has to range towards the bag to pick, or second baseman has to range towards the bag to pick it up, and the play is made by Dusky, and the first out is recorded 4-3.
Batting second.
It's going to bring up the
shortstop, Drew Beyer.
Manager's son, left-handed hitting shortstop. The last time Drew was on this field, a very memorable finish. He was at second base in the 11th inning of the game against Hanska, tied 7-7. He stole third. Throw went wild, and that allowed Beyer to come scampering home with the game-winning run. So they rally from 5 down to beat Hanska. Survivors. First pitch in for a strike. It was a breaking ball, now a fastball up and in. And the count is 1 ball and a strike to Drew Beyer. Drew, 3 for 8 so far in the tournament. And as mentioned, the stolen base and advancing home with a winning run in the first game. 2 balls and a strike to Beyer as early. Working to find the strike zone, figure out the strike zone in this bottom of the first inning. And the pitch is bunted towards third base. And the throw is made, and that is a fantastic play by Ethan Hansen, the
batting third,
high schooler. Fields it and throws it.
Mitch Keeler.
And 5-3 on the put up, 2 up, 2 down. Keeler, wearing number 24, the first baseman, 2 for 8 with a run scored. Couple Keelers on the Foley Lumberjack squad, and he's first pitch swinging, and the breaking ball is lifted towards shallow left field. O'Donnell's there, and O'Donnell makes the play. So after 1 complete, it's 1-0 Buffalo over Foley. You're watching Prep Spotlight.tv's coverage of the State C baseball tournament. We'll keep you up to date what's going on in Class B and in Class C in Milroy right when we come back.
What's special about high school sports? The passion, the excitement, the memories.
Down on 3 in the butter. Good! It's good! DuBois wins it for the Rebels.
It's about impacting your community. Connecting your business to this audience. This is where your customers live, where they shop. This is their circle of life. This is where your business should be. Connect with your best potential customers. This is your invitation. Get in the game.
And back with you here. And we start the top of the second inning. First baseman Kai Briss to the plate. Facing the young left-hander for the Foley Lumberjacks, actually a member of Luxembourg's baseball team, JT Harn. Harn up in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. On Briss, the number 6 hitter, he hit cleanup 2 weeks ago in their first round game, and the pitch is outside, a ball and 2 strikes. So far, he's 1 for 9 with an RBI in the 2 games. Kai also going without the batting gloves this evening, and he lines it down the line. Fair and into the corner. trickling into foul territory, and Brisk is off and running. There's a lot of room there, and he'll stand up with the double. So the second double of the game, and Brisk gets things going in the second inning for the Buffalo Bulldogs.
Number 47, Ethan Hansen.
Ethan Hansen just made the play on the bunt at third base. Now he comes to the plate with a runner in scoring position. Hansen through the 2 games, 3 for 10 with 2 runs scored and an RBI. So nobody out and a runner at second. First pitch popped up into shallow right field. Winkleman's there, and he's going to camp underneath it and drop it. It was right there, and he just could not hang on. Heading on to third, and the throw comes through and hits the runner. So a shaky beginning to this game for the Foley Lumberjacks. The report on that first game against Hansco is that they didn't play a clean game by any stretch of the imagination and survived. Last week, very clean game. And now they start
Tommy Eckstein
with giving up a run in the first on a ground ball infield single that a runner scored from second on, and now an error by Winkleman out in right field. Runner advances over to third. E9 on the play, so not a base hit, and the runner goes to third. So it's first and third, nobody out, and that's going to bring up Eckstein. Eckstein wearing number 3. As the manager, Mike Beyer, just trying to settle things down a little bit. They fell behind 1-0. Nothing that's same thing happened here last week, 2 weeks ago when they faced Hanska, but now you have an easy out, not recorded, and just wanting to make sure that Harn, the pitcher, can put the air behind him and see if he can get some outs. First pitch to Eckstein is a strike. Tommy replacing in the lineup Ethan Sefker. Sefker, who started the first 2 games, not in the lineup, and I didn't see him on the sheet at all. So I'm guessing he is not here. Fouled away. And it's a ball, no balls and 2 strikes. Again, runners at first and third. Over at third off the leadoff doubles, Kai Brisk. Reaching on the air was Ethan Hansen. Holding the runner at first. Infield back at double play depth, and the breaking ball from Harn is spun foul towards the Buffalo dugout. And its count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Sun setting in the western sky. This ballpark faces to the north and east. So the sun setting behind us. And swing and a miss as Harn rears back and gets a key strikeout. Nobody's advancing on. That's going to bring up the number 9 hitter.
Number 17, Noah Christensen.
Noah Christensen coming to the plate. He scored a run. He has yet to pick up a base hit in the 2 tournament games. Christensen batting 9th in the order, and then that will spin us back up to the top with Ramon Vega. First pitch outside. Ball 1. PrepSpotlight.tv coverage all over the state tonight. 3 baseball games. Over in Milroy, we have Isanti and Cold Springs, and that pitch is laced down the right field line and just foul. Just foul. So we'll do it all over again. Christensen running right down, looking at it, probably had a different view of it, thinking it might have cut to the left side or landed to the left side of the chalk, but from this vantage point, it looked like it was this far foul. Less than a 6 inches foul for sure. Maybe about 3 inches foul would be the right. Runners at first and third. There is 1 out, 1-1. The count to Christensen as he tries to take that pitch to right field. Pitch high, 2-1 now. Nice crowd on hand here tonight. From the report, this is the only game where tickets were available. Again, If you've been following the tournament or following PrepSpotlight.tv, a limit of 250 fans per the regulations of the pandemic era that we live in. Fouled away, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 3 hits on the game so far for the Bulldogs. Wearing their gray jerseys with the white stripe with the team name across. Swing and a miss, and Harn rears back again and throws that same pitch that he got Eckstein on.
Center fielder, number 2, Ramon Vega Jr.
So 2 strikeouts have kept the base runners standing firm. And Vega Jr. comes to the plate. He grounded to the third baseman in his first appearance. Just beyond the left field fence, the Cottonwood River. This is a big entertainment complex area in Springfield. Water Park, which has been silent all summer long, adjacent to the ballpark. You can see in left field every once in a while, we'll flash up there and you'll see the football stands as the first pitch is wide, ball 1. This is also the football field for the high school. One ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Runners at the corners, and Harn delivers. It's lifted foul. That one's going to twist all the way out of play. Chasing after him is Winkleman, but landing in a bullpen area down the right field side. They've put up a tent down right field. You see it right there in the screen. So some folks are taking the opportunity to sit out beyond the playing field in right field. There's a new party deck that they just completed for this season, as they were expected to host be the second site, along with New Ulm was the original plan, but now this is the championship site for Class C baseball. Fastball misses outside, 2-1 from Harn to Vega Jr. Buffalo with 16 runs in their first 2 games and a run here in the first inning already. Pitch on the way is high and wide, and Harn overthrowing on that one. 3-1 the count. Two down, top of the second inning. Harn, the lefty, quickly checks the runners and delivers. It's smoked out to center field. Chasing after it is Zawicki, and he isn't going to get it. That ball was hit a long way. Vega Jr. is going to round second, head to third. That got almost all the way to the fence by the 452 sign, and that's a triple that will drive in 2 runs for Buffalo, and they are out to a 3-0 lead on the Foley Lumberjacks. The triple to straightaway center field, and as I mentioned, 452 out there to just, it's like the old polo grounds watching games of 1950s with the New York Giants.
Number 18, Colton Hayes.
Give the center fielder, Vega Jr., the 2 runs batted in on the base knock, and it is a 3-0 lead. And Harn fell behind in the count 3-1 and left the pitch up in the zone, and Vega Jr. deposits it over the head of Zawicki, the center fielder. That brings up Colton Haight. He flew out to Zawicki last inning in the first, and the first pitch is a fastball up and away, ball 1. 3-0 the score. 4 hits on the board for Buffalo in their first 2 trips to the plate. Vega Jr. at third, setting right by his ear and delivering the breaking ball is Harn. So through 17 innings of tournament pitching coming into tonight's game, Harn had given up just 1 run on 11 hits. Now he's given up 3 runs on 4 hits. Pitch misses, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. So a bumpy road here at the start, and again, as I mentioned, that's similar to what happened to Foley 2 weeks ago. They trailed by 5 going into the middle innings. 3-0 pitch on the way, and it's outside, and a 4-pitch walk for Colton Haight. Runners at the corners again, 2 outs. We were just in this situation 2 batters ago when Vega Jr. delivered the triple, rocked the triple over the head of the center fielder that scored 2. Dusky now doubled and scored on the infield single. First pitch to Dusky is a breaking pitch, slider that catches the plate, strike one. Chopper. No balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. And Dusky goes down swinging. And that ends the inning. Buffalo scores 2 runs on 2 more base hits. The big blow, a triple to straightaway center field.
For the Bulldogs in the top of the second.
And it is 3-0. We're going to step aside here at the State C baseball tournament. We'll be back for the bottom of the second right here on PrepSpotlight.tv.
Nothing. Pictures of one of the floods that
the shot of the
most devastating flood
deep center field, the abyss out here at Riverside Park in Springfield, 452 feet to that corner. It's almost the end zone of the football field. Probably is in the end zone of the football field as I'm looking at the Tiger football scoreboard. And that is a long way to go. And the ball bounced to that green part of the fence that Vega Jr. hit, the triple. No doubt, though, everything hit there, if it gets to that part, is a triple. No matter who's running, maybe even inside the park home run. So Tyler Midas coming to the plate here in the bottom of the second to lead off for the Foley Lumberjacks with John Early on the hill. And the first pitch is a breaking ball low. Midas, the designated hitter, is 3 for 8 in the tournament. He's got a run and 2 RBI. It was Midas who delivered a game-tying run in that game against Hanska when they were down 7-6. It's a foul ball, a grounder before it squirted out towards Hansen at third. Hit Midas. So the count, 1 ball and a strike. Pitch misses inside, 2-1 the count. And trying to keep an eye on the game going on in Milroy for you, Santee and Cold Spring going at it. And we'll have a visit. I still do not have a score. No update on that yet, but we'll give that to you as we go along. The game is on PrepSpotlight.tv. If you bought the Class C package or the full tournament package, A, B, and C, you can flip over and go between the two. And then we also have the winner's bracket final in Class B up in Shakopee going on. That one is a showdown between Chanhassen, 2-time champion, and the Moorhead Brewers. So running in front of the center fielder making that play is the left fielder, O'Donnell. So flying out is Midas.
Number 23, the second baseman, Mitch Logreen.
Mitch Logreen at the plate, left-handed hitting second baseman. One out, bottom of the second, 3-0 the score. The pitch misses wide, 1 ball, no strikes from Early to Logreen. Logreen, 2 for 8 so far in the tournament, but he does have a run batted in. Work in the Foley bullpen, a lefty up and throwing. Line drive is fielded on 1 hop and played by Kai Brisk. He'll take it to the bag unassisted. and there's 2 outs.
The catcher.
2 up, 2 down. The first 5 guys have been retired by early. And the catcher, Ian Von Wald, to the plate. Breaking ball over for a strike. Von Wald on the base paths of numerous times last weekend. He's just 1 for 7, scored twice so far in tournament play. Early swing and a miss on the fastball to Von Wald, the left-handed hitting catcher, and 2 down. Have a feeling that is Alec Dietl that's warming up. Dietl started the first game here. Pitched 3 innings. Pitch misses, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Buffalo faithful thought that might have caught part of the plate. 1-2 the count, and the breaking ball is high and kicks off the catcher Hate's glove back to the backstop, but nobody on, so nothing hurt. 2-2 the count, 2 outs. Some pinks and blues in the sky here above the ballpark in Springfield. Just a gorgeous September night. 2-2 pitch delivers outside. Trying to frame it in there was Haight, but that was off the plate, and the count runs full. After retiring the first 5 hitters, see what he does with hitter number 6 and Ian Von Wald. Early, rocks and fires, swing and a miss. So 6 up, 6 down for the Buffalo starter, and he's doing exactly what he needs to do. As his team keeps putting runs on the board, he sends them down. He sends Foley to the dugout without any runs. So we're going to go to the third, where you're watching PrepSpotlight.tv coverage of the State C baseball tournament. All right, we're in the third inning. JT Harn on the plate, on the mound. Ha! Somewhere along there. He's somewhere in this ballpark, according to where I'm at. Harn on the mound. Coming to the plate is Renshaw. Renshaw with the infield single that led to a run in the first inning. Harn, the pitcher from Luxembourg, who's the draftee for the Foley Lumberjacks and winner of their first 2 games. He's 2-0 in the tournament. Harn has given up 3 runs on 4 hits, 2 hits in each inning. Renshaw with a big cut, and it is a swing and a miss. Renshaw singled, a little chopper short of third. He beats it out, and the runner, Dusky, scores from second. Renshaw fouls it off his own self, and he's down in the count 0-2. Harn, who worked ahead in the count most of last week in that win over New Prague, delivering a few more pitches and behind in the count. Fastball up and into Renshaw, number 27, and it is 1 ball. 2 strikes here in the top of the third inning. Buffalo with 1 in the first, 2 in the second. Pitch, breaking ball, makes Renshaw jump on the batter's box and towards the plate. And now we're square at 2 balls and 2 strikes on deck. J.D. O'Donnell. Pitch up, and so after getting ahead in the count, Harn has now run full. Second baseman shaded a little bit towards the bag. And the 3-2 pitch is hit to left and deep. Chasing after it is the left fielder, Kipka, and it is gone. So Renshaw walking down the line, and he hits the home run. His second homer of the tournament, both here at this ballpark. 4-0. Buffalo now has scored in every frame. Renshaw has driven in 2 runs on 2 hits. The first one went about 55 feet. This one goes about 355 feet for the homer.
Number 9,
Renshaw
J.D. O'Donnell.
makes it 4-0. And Harn, been super solid for 17 innings, is running into issues. But I do want to remind, and we'll probably do it 2 more times, that this Foley team was down 5 runs 2 weeks ago at this very ball yard on a very similar Friday night, except I guess there was some rain in the area. We had a rain delay in the game here. Breaking pitch misses inside, and it is a ball and 1 strike. One pitch from Harn on the way, swing and a miss for O'Donnell. He flew out to right field in the first inning. That ended the first inning. 5 base hits and an error, that was costly. For Foley, fly ball out to right that was not corralled. Two and two the count, and the pitch is flip foul. Two and two the count, nobody out. And the pitch misses high, so again, Harn using the full extent of the count to get a decision here on O'Donnell. 5 base hits, and that was lifted foul. That's going to be wide of the left field line. A win here moves Buffalo into play in the quarterfinals on Sunday, and the winner of this game will actually get a crack at possibly, because they still have to win the defending champion Jordan Brewers, who've looked impressive. Swing and a miss. The ball will have to be thrown down to first base to record the out, and Ian Von Wall does just that. Third strikeout for Harn.
Brings up the first baseman, number 22, Kai Brisk.
Kai Brisk to the plate now. He's 1 for 1, and he scored a run. He started things off in the second inning with the double down the line to left field. Came around on the triple by Ramon Vega to score. 1-0 the count to Brisk, the first baseman. Fastball up high, 2 balls, no strikes. Harn with solid velocity, but what made him so tough in the outing I saw last week in Milroy was just he was changing speeds, and never did a batter have full balance, and he worked his way through that New Prague lineup. Did not give up a run. He gets a strike there, 2-1 the count. 4-0 your score, and the pitch on the way, and it's line for a second base hit from Brisk. Fastball right back up the middle. 6 hits in the game.
Third baseman, number 47, Ethan Hansen.
The young one, Ethan Hansen, the high schooler. Hansen reached on the air. He flew out to right field. It looked like a can o' corn. And in this part of the country, the can of corn is special. But it was dropped. He came around to score on the triple as well. Runner at first, grounder towards second. It's picked up by Logering, and they get the out at second. Logering to Byer. But they can't complete the double play. So the inning is still going on with Eckstein coming to the plate. Tommy Eckstein 0 for 1. He struck out. Hansen reaching on the fielder's choice, so he's 0 for 2 on the game, but he's reached base both times and has a run to show for it. Eckstein takes the first pitch and fouls it away. 4-0. This inning, it was a home run, a solo shot to start the inning from Brett Renshaw. Breaking ball just misses high. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs in the top of the 3rd inning. 4-0 is your score. Infield set behind Harn. Harn delivers, and it's fouled away again. Ball and 2 strikes to the right-handed hitting designated hitter, Eckstein. Hanson, the high schooler, wearing 2 batting gloves. Not a lot of the more veteran players on the Buffalo team likes the feeler look of the batting gloves. Breaking ball inside, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Top of the 3rd. Buffalo has marked the board their first 3 at-bats. Line towards right, and that's going to get over the second baseman Logering's head. Hanson scrambles onto 3rd, and he'll slide in head first. He is safe. Base hit from Eckstein. Runners at 1st and 3rd, and we'll see how long a leash the manager, Mike Byer, has.
Number 17, Noah Christensen.
For pitcher J.T. Harn. Corner again, runners at the corners. First pitch to Christensen, who struck out in the 2nd. Is in for a strike. Ten of the first 17 batters have reached base. Oh, 2 the count to Christensen. Harn trying to get him set down on strikes for the 2nd time this evening and to get back into the dugout. Lifted towards left, and that's going to fall. So an RBI single for Christensen. They even had him played shallow, but he was able to just loop it right over the 3rd baseman's head and give Christensen the RBI. Not only gets his first hit of the tournament, but he also comes up with his first RBI of the tournament. And that will score Hanson from 3rd. On to 2nd is Eckstein, and it's 5-0. Buffalo, just like 2 weeks ago, find themselves down 5 runs. And that will be it for Mr. Harn, the youngster from Luxembourg. Sprints off the field, and he gets a big group of handshakes as the Lumberjacks know how important he was to getting to this Sweet 16 spot. Right now, they're back facing that 5-run deficit, and sometimes things are symmetrical, flip-flop, a little yin to the yang, and when the guy who pitches right now for Foley, number 21, Alec Dietl, he takes to the hill, the lefty. Dietl was on the mound 2 weeks ago here when they fell behind by 5 runs, and they brought in Harn, and they were able to survive. Flip-flop it. Harn now departs here in the 3rd inning, and it'll be Dietl's job to see if they can get through without much more damage, if any damage, and see if the Foley Bats can again rally like they did 2 Fridays ago. So runners at 1st and 2nd here. Dietl, the lefty. We didn't get to see any bullpen work last week. As I mentioned before, Harn went the distance. So Dietl has 3 innings pitched.
Now pitching for Foley, number 21, Alec Dietl.
He gave up 6 of those 7 runs in the 3 innings pitched.
Number 2, Ramon Vega Jr.
So Vega Jr. comes to the plate. He's 1 for 2 with 2 runs batted in. Triple to well, I'd say it wasn't straightaway center, pretty close to straightaway center, over the head of Zawicki in center. So runners at first and second. 2 outs, 5-0 your score, and Dietl's first pitch is down and away, ball 1, and having to retrieve it from out in front of the left-handed batter's box is Von Wald. Buffalo outscored its opponents 16-3 in the first 2 weeks of tournament play, and out to a 5-rip lead here. Breaking ball good for, I thought it was in for a strike. Nope, low, 2-0 the count. At second base is Eckstein. At first base is Christensen. At the plate, the leadoff hitter, and he swings and foul tips it into the glove of Von Wald. Vega Jr. 1 for 2, grounded out in the first. 2-1 the count. Pitch misses low. 3 balls and a strike. For the second time in 4 years, Buffalo gets here. They lost a close Sweet 16 game in 2017 to Lake Henry. Breaking pitch is good in the count again, and maxes out at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Five runs on 8 hits right now, and an error that played a big role in the second inning, leading to a couple runs. I'd say at least 1 run. Dietl steps off the back, and in response to that, Vega Jr. stepped out of the batter's box, and now we have everybody in their rightful places. The runner at second, runner at first, 2 outs. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch misses low. Gets away from Von Wald, but we have ourselves a base on balls. And the bases are loaded for Colton Haight.
Number 18, the catcher, Colton Haight.
Second walk for Buffalo batters in this game. Haran walked 1, struck out 3. He's still on the hook for a couple runners out there, so his line is not complete. You know, he gave up 8 hits, whether it's 5 runs or 6 or 7. That answer will come here in the next minute or two. Haight, the catcher, 0 for 1 with a walk. Pitch is down and in, ball 1. Out of the windup, Dietl delivers. Breaking ball short of the plate. Blocked by Von Wald. He has to go turn behind him to where the umpire normally stands to pick it up. He does. Nobody's moving. There's a chance here for Buffalo to break it wide open. Pitch is on the inner half of the plate, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Dietl going fastball. Two other drafted players by Foley have not appeared yet in this tournament. Ground ball right back to Dietl. He's going to field it and flip it over to first. And if I remember, when we come back from this break, we'll give you the names of those drafted players from Foley who have not appeared. But as we go to break, I can tell you that the Buffalo Bulldogs score 2 more runs, and they do it on 4 more base hits. So it's 5-0 after 2.5. We'll be back for the bottom of the third right after this. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv. We're going to see if we can pick up some of the highlights from last week in Class C in the second week of play.
Driven to the gap in left center field. This one lands. They throw to the plate. It's not in time. This is 4 and a walk. Runner going. Byer. And the pitch gets away. Byer coming home. There won't be a play. And Foley wins the game.
Sorensen delivers. It's hit hard to right, and that is going to be over his head. Delivers an RBI double. 0-2 pitch. Inside corner, strike 3. And that ends the game. He gets him on a called third strike. He had 2 called third strikes in the inning.
Ground ball up the middle. Great stop by the second baseman. Firing to first and got him. But guess what? The Trial League Mudcats have just taken the lead.
Pitch. Hit a long way. Deep. Looking back, and it is gone. And Matt Ambrose has opened this game up with a 3-run home run. And those were actually highlights from 2 weekends ago. We'll come back and show you the Class C highlights from last weekend. Class C and B, some package we put together after the tournament. After the tournament play last week, we'll pick things up here. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Foley back into a routine here in games at Springfield where they trailed by 5 after 3. They're right there again. Do they have it in them to come back again? So it's the 7, 8, 9 hitters right now. Biskins, Kipka, and Zawicki. Swing and a miss from Biskins, the right-handed hitting third baseman. Biskins 0 for 7, but he has a run batted in. It was an interesting run batted in on an infield hit last week, and the pitch misses inside 2-1, where the pitcher fielded it and looked back the runner at third, but didn't look him all the way back. And when he decided to wheel and throw to first, the runner at third came in to score. Ground ball towards short. There's Christensen. Good throw across the infield, and still the Lumberjacks yearning for a base runner on this Friday night, September 4th,
Left fielder, number 15,
2020.
Kyle
Sweet
Kipka.
16 play starts tonight. We have 2 games in Class C. As I mentioned it, Isanti taking on Cold Spring, the Rockies. 1 out. Kipka. Kyle Kipka, K squared we would say, playing left field, and he looks at a strike from Early, the starting pitcher for the Bulldogs. It's going into my high school days. Chopper, third baseman's going to make the play, steps in front of the shortstop, and the play is made. Hanson.
Center fielder, number 12, Joe Zawicki.
5 of the first 8 ground ball outs for Early. Zawicki, the number 9 hitter, center fielder, has the ball hit him right on the wrist, just a ticking of the wrist, but it is a hit batter. We could hear it from up here as well.
Back to the top
And
fielder,
Zawicki
right fielder,
is the first
number
base
11,
runner of the
Noah
game. So
Winkleman.
Early now, who had been breezing along and throwing out of the windup, will go out of the set position. At the letters he sets and throws a breaking ball over for a strike to the leadoff hitter, Noah Winkleman. Winkleman grounded out to the second baseman, leading off in the bottom of the first inning. 2 on, 2 out, 1 on. Runner at first. Zawicki runs well. 1 ball and a strike to the left-handed hitting Winkleman. Winkleman now 4 for 11. Ground ball towards second. Dusky's there. And Dusky makes the throw onto the bag at first for the out. So still not a hit on the board, but a runner on the bases paths for
Foley in the bottom of the third.
the
No runs
crew from
on,
Foley.
no hits,
So no
errors,
runs
and
on,
one
no
left
hits,
on base.
and 1 left on base.
After
We have
3
played
innings,
3. We'll be
Bulldogs
back. Let's take a look at
Lumberjacks
last week's
0.
highlights in both Class B and C.
He's running for a base hit. Morris now backs up. Arnold serves one into left, and that's a base hit. And Chanhassen takes the lead right back. 0-1 to Halleck. Back and off the foot of the pitcher. It bounces towards left field. Kolpak coming home. The throw to the plate. Not in time. The game is tied at 5.
0-2 pitch. Base hit right field. That'll do it. Matt Oy comes up and pokes one through the drawn-in infield, and the Moorhead Brewers win it 6-5 in 10 innings. Fires this one, driven to center field. Back is Rucker. Does he do it again? Yes, he does! 3 home runs for Duffner! And it's 10-3 Gold Spring. Unbelievable! Runs scored here today. Here's the 2-2. Strike 3. Another one gone. McCoy Rodney goes down on strikes, and there's 2 away now.
Back with you here for the 4th inning, top of the 4th. And the first pitch from Deedle gets Dusky swinging. Dusky, the number 3 hitter, now squares the bunt. Dusky is 1 for 2 with a run scored. Doubled and scored in the first inning. He struck out in the second. Dusky makes things happen on the ball, on the base paths. 5 stolen bases. We saw in the first 2 weeks. We've seen that. And then tonight you can see the impact he had right away with the scoring on the ground ball. Infield grounder in front of third base, all the way from second base. 1 ball, 2 strikes, your count. Dusky, the right-handed hitter, second baseman, and the count levels 2 balls and 2 strikes. 7 for 11 during this tournament play, so Dusky has been a key component to the offense. 2-2 pitch, foul tip, swung on and it is held onto, and Dusky, who is the only batter not to bat in the come to the plate for Buffalo in the third inning, strikes out for the second time of the game. Renshaw hit the home run last time up. First pitch inside, ball 1. Renshaw with his second home run of the tournament is now 4 for 9. Fastball catches the plate inside, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Top of the 4th. Buffalo with a run marked in at least 1 run marked in every inning. There's warnings given out, but I think that ends up being a foul ball. And the umpire has a conversation with the manager, Mike Byer, and with the manager, Corey Braun, letting him know. That pitch was behind Renshaw. It hit his bat. The umpire wanting to make sure that there is no shenanigans. Now, Renshaw, when he hit his home run, walked down the line at first base. He admired it. He hit it hard, and he admired it, and that might be one of the reasons why these warnings were delivered. Now, sometimes when a player does that, where he walks down the line, and some umpire will say, I'll just let him, the next time he comes up, let him see a couple inside pitches, which is what happened. There were 3 inside pitches, and Renshaw flies out for the second out in the inning. He flies out to left field. Kip has it, and there's 2 down.
Left fielder, number 9, J.D. O'Donnell.
J.D. O'Donnell, the left fielder, coming to the plate. He's 0 for 2. Struck out his last time up. He flew out to right field as well. 2 down, and the pitch is outside from Deedle to O'Donnell. O'Donnell now for the tournament is 4 for 11. Fouled straight back, and count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Fastball on the outer half of the plate. 1-2 here in the top of the 4th. The Lumberjacks trying to get through an inning clean. Breaking ball, fouled away. Ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs. 5-0 the score. 5 runs on 8 hits. Pitch low. 2-2, 2 outs. Deedle delivers to O'Donnell outside, and the count ends full. Three-two pitch, pops straight up. It's in the play. First baseman, second baseman converging on it. Second baseman will make the play and does not stay on his feet in making the play. Logering makes the catch, and that's it for the top half of the fourth inning. The Bulldogs do not post a run for the first time in this game. Last week here, as we were telling you that Cold Spring is playing Isanti over in Milroy, last week we had a show put on by Cold Spring power hitter, and we'll show that to you right now.
This one driven to the gap in left center field. It's a deep ball, and it's going to land, and it's gone! A two-run home run for Cold Spring. Duffner makes it a 2-0 game here in the top of the first inning. Driven to right. Paul watches it go over his head. Back-to-back two-run homers for the first baseman, Duffner. Austin Duffner makes it 5-0 Cold Spring. One strike on Duffner as Weiss kicks and fires this one. Driven to center field. Back is Rucker. Does he do it again? Yes, he does! 3 home runs for Duffner! And it's 10-3 Cold Spring. Unbelievable. My goodness. Austin Duffner with 3 home runs.
To the bottom of the fourth inning now, as we saw Duffner with his 3 home runs and 7 RBI in that game last week. And Byer, the son of Mike Byer, the manager, is down in the count. The left-handed hitting shortstop. Again, 5-run deficit that Foley is facing now in the bottom of the fourth inning. So the similarities, I don't know if they're eerie, but they are similar, as similarities would normally be. 0-2 the count. Breaking ball fouled and tipped off the glove of the catcher Haight, H-I-A-I-G-H-T, H-A-I-G-H-T, Haight. No balls, 2 strikes. Early has yet to give up a base hit. He has hit a batter. Pitch inside, a ball and 2 strikes. Now granted, Early hit a batter, but I don't think there was any intention to his pitch that hit the batter. And the called third strike, the breaking ball from Early freezes Byer, and Byer is down. Strike 1. It's going to bring Mitch Keeler to the plate. Keeler flew out.
Number 24, Mitch Keeler.
To left field. He's now 2 for 9 on the tournament. And Early working well. Fouled off on the first pitch on the fastball to Keeler. Remember now, this is not like the first 2 weeks where the Ace can keep coming back because you're only playing once a week. They're playing 4 games if they want to get all the way to the championship. So you're probably going to see some saving of pitchers so that they can come back on Sunday, Monday at the latest, like Early. 0-2 the count to Keeler. Slash foul, wide of the bag at first. Kai Brisk looks at it. Somebody better go chase down and get it, and somebody from the Foley dugout sprints to retrieve that ball here in Springfield at Riverside Park, right along the Cottonwood, the banks of the Cottonwood. 0-2 pitch, popped up, foul out of play. There's a lot of territory to the sides of home plate. Not a lot behind home plate, but the room between dugouts, the beautiful brick dugouts here, and home plate, it's pretty immense. But the grandstand not too far off of home plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Keeler. As Foley tries to work the magic they had 2 weeks ago. Grounded up the middle. Second baseman's got a play on it. Sprints over and makes the throw. Dusky had a good break on it. Circled it, fielded it, and gets Keeler. 2 up, 2 down. Midas, the designated hitter. Midas flew out to left field as well in his first at-bat. 0 for 1 and 3 for 9 now in postseason play, state tournament postseason play. First pitch, breaking ball, and he fouls it back. There's been some teams that are most definitely surviving and advancing. That's the NCAA tournament motto, I guess, coined by NC State of 1983. Breaking ball misses up to Midas, and the count is 1-1. I guess you would say Foley did that in week 1. Got teams like Prior Lake. The Mudcats were down 10-2 in their game here in week 1 to New Ulm and scored 11 times in 1 inning off of 3 base hits, if you believe that, to advance on. And then last week, Prior Lake, breaking pitch inside 2-2. Prior Lake taking on Kimball in a classic pitcher's duel, and Kimball out hit Prior Lake 3-1, 9-3. Hard foul in between the spot where Mike Byer was standing and the third baseman Hansen was playing. Count 2-2. But in the 12th inning, Prior Lake scratched out the winning run. Go-ahead run, and then it ended up being the winning run. 3-2 early now to Midas here in the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 5-0. Buffalo. Breaking ball, lifted out to right field. Renshaw loses his hat and makes the catch. So 3 up, 3 down, and through 4. Complete. Nary a hit on the board for the Lumberjacks. We're going to go to the top of the 5th inning. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv's coverage of the State C baseball tournament from Springfield. We'll be back with the 5th inning when we return.
Hey fans, don't forget to hit the concession stand. Looks pretty quiet over there. They got lots of cool beverages and hot things to
look down the line here at Springfield at Riverside Park. And a reminder that if you want to watch Town Ball, Uniquely Minnesota, the Emmy Award-nominated series 2019 on Fox Sports North, produced by Big G Media, you can now go to Amazon and order all 8 episodes. And if you're an Amazon Prime member, Town Ball, Uniquely Minnesota is free. Deedle, first pitch, hits the batter and a free base. So even though there is a warning, I'm not sure what that warning means. Batter hit is Brisk. So Brisk has been on base all 3 times now.
Number 47,
doubled,
Ethan
singled,
Hansen.
and now hit by a pitch. So in the 5th, Ethan Hansen comes to the plate with a leadoff runner on. Hansen has scored twice in this game. reached on an error and on a fielder's choice. Throw down to first, and the runner's back safe. Again, the hospitality of the folks running the Class C tournaments here in Springfield. Milroy Class B tournament up in Shakopee is beyond compare. Makes you feel right at home right from the get-go. Foul ball catches the catcher Von Wall and stings him. So Hansen, who's reached base twice, scored twice. Does not have a hit, however. And the breeze coming out of the south. It's kicked up out of nowhere. As we're sitting up at the top of the grandstand. Great vantage point for us here. And again, thanks to not just the Minnesota Baseball Association, but also the crew here in Springfield. Ground ball to Byer at short. They turn it at second and don't get the out at first as Hansen was running well down the line, but a nice turn from Byer to Logering for the first out of the inning. And Hansen on board for the third time without a base hit.
Number 3, the designated hitter, Tommy Eckstein.
Tommy Eckstein to the plate. Eckstein singled. His last time up, 1 for 2. Swing and a miss from the lefty Dietl. Dietl came on in the third inning to record the final out of the inning. So 2 2/3 for Harn. Again, the throw down to first, and they got Hansen committed and now in a rundown. And they're going to get the out. So they pick him off at first. 2-3-6-3 on the pickoff. 2 down. So Eckstein now with nobody on base around him and the count 1-1. Run in the first off 2 hits, 2 runs in the second off of 2 base hits, and then 2 more off of 4 hits in the third. Dietl delivers outside, 2 balls and a strike. Winner coming back on Sunday. Take on the winner of Jordan and Fairmont. That should be a decent game tomorrow. I believe that's down in Milroy. Guess I have the bracket not too far away from me. I could check that out instead of guessing. Preparation. Popped up in the infield. Keeler, and it'll be Logering. Logering underneath it. Just like the last inning ended. Logering catching the pop-up. Deja vu. All over again. We've played 4.5. And it is 5-0. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Buffalo leading at 5 runs on 8 hits. No runs on no hits so far. We'll see if the Foley Lumberjacks can scratch something out when we come back on PrepSpotlight.tv.
What's special about high school sports? The passion. The excitement. The memories.
Now on 3 at the buzzer. Good! It's good! Du Bois wins it for the Rebels.
It's about impacting your community. Connecting your business to this audience. This is where your customers live, where they shop. This is their circle of life. This is where your business should be. Connect with your best potential customers. This is your invitation. Get in the game.
Okay, we're back for the bottom of the 5th inning now. We're halfway through this one.
For Foley, second baseman, number 23, Mitch Logering.
Logering will take to the batter's box to start the 5th inning for the Lumberjacks as they still are trying to, well, of course, rally from 5 down, but mark the hit column. Logering grounded out to the first baseman. His first time up. First pitch in for a strike from Early. Early pitching his 5th inning and misses 1-1. He went 5 innings in the win against Fort Ripley. 4 innings last week in their win, so he has been conserved to this point as the foul ball hits the grandstand. Top of it, the aluminum metal roof, and you hear the clank. You can hear on the microphone the wind's picking up just a little bit. Blowing straight out of the south right now. Grounded foul. Yeah, maybe more out of the southwest. Yeah. It's a cool night, but a beautiful, beautiful night here in southern Minnesota, probably across the entire state. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Logering is out ahead of it, and he fouls it straight back right at my car. I hope it's insured. Foley trailed by 5 2 weeks ago on a very Friday night, just like this. Except there was some storms in the area, but other than that, it was a great baseball Friday night, and Foley rallied to beat Hanska in 11 innings. Now they're 5 down again. This is about right when they started the comeback, and the pitch misses, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Only 1 base runner for Foley. That was a hit batter. In the 3rd inning. 3 balls, 2 strikes from Early, and it's lifted out towards right field, and Renshaw is there. Again, Renshaw loses the lid. Makes the catch. First out recorded in the 5th, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Von Wald. Ian.
Number 10, the catcher, Ian Von Wald.
Struck out in the 2nd inning to end the inning. Von Wald now 1 for 8 in tournament play. Pitch outside, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. One 0 pitch is fouled back, and the count levels 1 ball and 1 strike. One and 1 to Von Wald, the left-handed hitting catcher. Swinging foul tip. He kicks up again. Now it's almost shifting straight out of the west. Von Wald fouls it on the left field side over the 3rd base dugout and onto the basketball court. That is here at Riverside Park. Great setting. Campground, water park, baseball field, football field. Strike 3. Von Wald goes down looking on the breaking ball. Early's 3rd strikeout of the game. And that's going to bring up Biskins, Brandon Biskins. He grounded to the shortstop.
Pitch hitter, number 8, Tony Stay.
Tony Stay in for Biskins. Stay getting an at-bat last week in the game against New Prague, and Stay wearing number 8. Swings and misses, and he's quickly down 0-2 to Early. So Early trying to go through 5 without a hit. Ground ball, not going to happen. Stay right on cue, ropes the single to left field, and Stay is on base. Kyle Kipka to the plate.
Brings up the left fielder, number 15.
First hit of the
Kyle
game
Kipka.
for Foley, and now we'll see what that leads to. Momentum-wise, if that's going to build. They're playing their 3rd straight weekend here in southern Minnesota. Here in Springfield 2 weeks ago, Milroy last Sunday, and then back here again on the Friday. So Both teams played Sunday. Buffalo later in the day, 5 o'clock last week. Well, Foley played at 2 o'clock. 2-0 early now after giving up his first hit. Misses the strike zone and does some manicuring of the mound. Early wearing number 11, the right-hander for the Bulldogs. Spells his name E-U-E-R-L-E, Early. Fastball in for a strike against Kipka. Kipka grounded to the third baseman. He's 0 for 1. He was 1 for 1 last week. Pinch hitting, base hit. Foul tip. 2-2 now as Early comes back from the 2-0 deficit to record the 2 strikes. And now 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The runner at first is Tony Stay. And John Early gets his strikeout second of the inning. Swing, foul tip. And we are 5 complete. And it is 5-0. Buffalo leads it. They do get a hit. 1 left on base. We'll step aside. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv's coverage of the State C baseball tournament, Springfield, Minnesota. We'll be right back. Report from the other game in Milroy, and Cold Spring is on top of Isanti 1-0. Still waiting on a score from Chanhassen, the 2-time defending B champion. They're taking on Moorhead, the Brewers, up in Shakopee.
Leading off the 6th, shortstop, number 17, Noah Christensen.
Chanhassen, the 2-time defending champion, leads 2-1. See, you just ask loud enough and you get it. Bunt attempt, good bunt attempt, and a base hit. So Noah Christensen gets his second base hit of the game, a bunt single, right down the first base line.
Bunt single brings up the center fielder.
Pitcher, catcher converge, but not able to get it done. Dietl and Von Wald.
Vega Jr.
So now with the leadoff runner on again. Third time in 6 innings they've had the leadoff runner on. After scoring in each of the first 3 innings, Buffalo has had a goose egg up in the 4th and the 5th. Vega Jr. takes a strike. He has been on twice. Triple with 2 runs scoring on that triple, 2 RBI, and then he walked his last time up. First pitch in for a strike, the breaking ball. Top of the 6th inning, runner at first, and Vega slaps it towards short. Byer over to Logering. Logering on to the first baseman Keeler, but it's low. And Von Wald scoots down, the catcher. He backs up the play. The runner had turned into the field. Vega had turned into the field, so he had to get back to the bag to avoid being tagged out. 6-4 on the putout at second base for the first out.
Number 18, Colton Haight.
And Vega Jr. is on board with the fielder's choice. Top half of the 6th inning. Buffalo scoring 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third. Colton Haight at the plate, and he grounds towards third and past Stay, who is now into the game for Biskins at third base. So Haight on board with the hit, and that is hit number 10. First hit for Haight. Runners at first and second, and that's going to bring up Dusky.
Jake Dusky.
Jake doubled in the first inning and scored, and then has gone down swinging both times since. 1 for 3. Dusky on the tournament, 7 for 12. He fouls off the first pitch onto the metal roof. Springfield was excited for the years since the announcement that they would be part of the hosting group. It was supposed to be New Ulm and Springfield. Ended up being Springfield and Milroy, thanks to the pandemic and the decision by the City Council of New Ulm. Dusky swings and misses, and the count 0-2. So with one out, Dusky's got runners on base, 2 of them, in the tournament. Adds a couple RBIs. Nice play by Beyer. They're going to get the first one, but Dusky has been a terror on the base paths. No chance to double him up unless it's absolutely tailor-made and hit really hard. It's a good play by Beyer to get the turn. So erased at second base is Haight, and Dusky's on at first. 2 base hits this inning. Runners again at the corners for Renshaw. Renshaw's been a little bit of a lightning rod. He had an RBI single in the first, a home run to left in the third. And he took his time enjoying the home run and getting to the first base bag before he made the rest of the journey around the base paths. And he might have been expecting that the next time up he catches a couple inside pitches. In fact, one hits his bat behind him, causing the home plate umpire to warn both benches, and then he flew out harmlessly to left field in the inning. Renshaw with 2 RBI on the game and the 2 base hits and the home run, his second of the tournament. As the wind kicks up, just a little breeze. It's not wind, it's a breeze. And the pitch inside again from Dietl. 2 balls, no strikes to Renshaw. 2 for 3 on the game. Now hitting .400 in the tournament. Fastball inner half, strike 1. American flags adorn the top of the fences along both the first and third base side here. And the American flag out in right field now blowing straight out of the west. Wind blowing out to right field. 3-1 the count to Renshaw. And the pitch misses outside, so the bases are now loaded.
Left fielder, number 9, J.D. O'Donnell.
J.D. O'Donnell now to the plate, and an opportunity here that probably could decide this game. And he swings first pitch. Beyer on a knee, slides, picks it up, and they get the out. 6-4. All 3 outs. Force outs at second base in an inning. Sometimes your scorecard sees things that maybe you don't ever see. That's the case there. 2 hits, 3 runners left on base. No runs. Score. And the Lumberjacks stay within some contact. If you get to 6 or 7 down, I think you start feeling it's over with. 5 not over with, at least not yet in the 6th inning. But what they do have to do is figure out a way to get to early. Now it's late in getting to early, but if they can get a mark on the board, you never know. Early's been tough, and Buffalo has played good defense behind them. Looking for a date on Sunday against either Jordan or Fairmont. 3 games tomorrow in each ballpark, and that will round out the quarterfinals. We'll have 8 winners by then. And then on Sunday at noon, we'll begin quarterfinal play. Noon at both venues, Milroy and Springfield. 3 o'clock at both venues. And then at 6 o'clock on Sunday night will be semifinal play. And when that's all said and done, we'll get to a championship game, which will be played right here at 1 o'clock.
Center fielder, number 12, Joe Zwicky.
In Springfield. So Sunday is a big day for baseball here. 3 games at each ballpark. Thanks to everybody who's been subscribing and watching on PrepSpotlight.tv. We appreciate your support, as does the Minnesota Baseball Association and the folks here in Springfield and Milroy who've run the tournaments in Class C, at Shakopee in Class B, and then at St. Anthony Village in Class A. All right, let's get back to the game here. Bottom of the 6th inning, and coming to the plate for the Lumberjacks of Foley is Joe Zawicki, the center fielder. Joe was hit by a pitch, one of 2 base runners. He's only appeared once, and the count 2-1 from Early. Bottom of the 6th inning, this is the deepest that Early has gone. He pitched 5 in the first win. He pitched 4 innings last week. Staked to a big lead last week. Swing and a miss on the breaking pitch, and it's 2-2. Leadoff hitter in the 6th inning. Ground ball into the hole, fielded by Christensen. Good strong throw, but Zawicki, as I mentioned early, runs well. That'll be base hit number 2 for Foley, and a leadoff single. Might be just what
infield single brings
the
up
doctor
number
ordered.
11, the right fielder, Noah Winkleman.
Top of the order now, and Foley is getting to the point where they've got to get some runs before outs are on the board. Breaking pitch up high to Winkleman. 2 ground balls to second base for Winkleman, 0 for 2. He's now 4 for 12, hitting .333 in the tournament. 1 ball, no strikes. And Early delivers. Swing and a miss. The manager, Mike Byer, in the third base coaching box. He looks on to see this team. This is year 7 for the Foley Lumberjacks. 1-2, swing and miss. Sweet 16 here in 2020 with the hope of advancing on. Ground ball again to second. They're going to tag the runner and flip over to first. So a 4-3 double play. And just like that, the Buffalo defense has made the play that will help Early along for sure.
Shortstop, number 4.
Dusky with the
Drew
fielding play. He
Byer.
tags instead of flipping to second as the runner was right in front of him, and then he fires over to first base, and Dusky and Brisk complete the double play, and first pitch swinging is the number 2 hitter Byer, and Byer pops up to the third baseman Hanson, and there are 3 outs in the 6th inning. We're going to play on to the top of the 7th inning and take a break. We'll be back here for the top of the 7th inning. 5 runs on 10 hits for the Bulldogs of Buffalo. No runs on 2 hits for Foley. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv.
It says Isanti is cooking.
Wyatt Zawicki has entered the game in right field for Foley. Kai Brisk at the plate for Buffalo in the top of the 7th inning. 5-0 the score. 1 ball, 1 strike from Deedle to Brisk. Brisk has reached base every time he's been to the plate today. Two for 2 is hit by a pitch his last time up, a breaking ball that caught his shoe top. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Brisk. Top of the 7th inning, so Foley down to their Final 3 at-bats, needing to make up a minimum of 5 runs. We'll see what happens. Full count to Brisk, as I mentioned. On base 3 times, scored 1 time. He's been eliminated at second base his other 2 times up. Hits it out to Logering at second. Logering's fielding and throwing. And they get the out. 1 down. And that brings up Ethan Hansen, the high schooler. He's also reached all 3 times, but he does not have a base hit. He scored twice. A couple fielders' choices, and then his fly ball out to right, the air by Winkleman and right, helped the inning stay alive. This one might drop for a base hit down the right field line. It does. And Hansen is on board with the blue single to right. Hit number 11 on the game for the Bulldogs, and it's going to bring up the number 8 hitter, Tommy Eckstein. Eckstein, 1 for 3. Singled in the 3rd. As I mentioned, we didn't see Eckstein in the first game. Did not start in the second game, but he is here. And Ethan Sefker, who had started both games, I believe at third base in both games, is not with the squad tonight. See if he would be here on Sunday if they hang on to this 5-0 lead. 1 out and a runner at first base. 2-0 the count to Eckstein. Designated hitter on deck is Christensen, the shortstop, who has 2 hits in the game. And Eckstein with a number in the right field. That's also going to hit in fair territory, spin into foul territory. Zawicki throws to third, and safe at third is Hansen. Single for Eckstein, his second hit of the game. Over to third is Hansen. And that's going to bring up Christensen. So Dietl with runners at the corners and 1 out.
Number 17, Noah Christensen.
12 hits to 2 hits in this one. And Buffalo set the tone early. Two-out double in the first inning. Back-to-back base hits, the double and a single, and they took the lead 1-0. And since that time, Buffalo has been in nothing but in the front of this race, and Foley having to come from behind. Big fastball, big swing and a cut. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Christensen. He reached on a bunt single in the 6th inning. Here we are in the 7th, and he fouls off the fastball, and count is now a ball and 2 strikes. Singled in the 3rd as well, struck out in the 2nd. Keep an eye on the bullpen. It's a little harder for us to see. There's a batting cage and a tent as we're looking down the third base side. Let's see if John Weber, who has come in and pitched significant innings for Buffalo, is warming up as they get to the 7th. See if they can serve early. Base knock to right field. Zawicki's going to field it. Fire into second and almost getting Eckstein rounding, but that's an RBI single, and it's now 6-0. Buffalo 6-0, not 7. They just hit it 1 time.
Back to the top of the order, center fielder, number 2, Ramon Vega Jr.
And Ramon Vega Jr. coming to the plate. So RBI single for Christensen, who's 3 for 4 in this game now. And we will have a pinch runner for Buffalo, number 7. Wyatt Brings.
Second, number 7, Wyatt Brings.
So Brings at second, the pinch runner. Three hits and an RBI for Christensen at first, and Vega at the plate. He has a hit and 2 RBI. He's reached base 3 times. Curveball over for a strike from Dietl. So now 6-0. in the 7th. Pitch misses down low, a ball and 1 strike. Two on and 1 out. Dietl, the lefty, kicks and delivers. Breaking ball is going to miss high and outside, and it's 2-1. Vega with the big hit in the 2nd inning. 2 runners on. He took one deep to center field into the abyss out there where it's 452. Over the head of Zawicki, the center fielder. 2 runs scored. Line drive out to center from Vega. His 2nd hit, 4th time he's gone up. The runner at 2nd had retreated back to the bag, not knowing if the shortstop was going to make the catch on that line drive. Because of that, he's not able to score. He'll just advance on station to station. Single from Vega. And we'll have a new pitcher, and it will be a Foley pitcher, not one of the draftees. And we'll take a break and let you know who it is when we come back. Lefty Ryan Chmielewski on to pitch, getting his first appearance at state. And he comes into a bases loaded situation here in the 7th inning. 6-0. Buffalo leading, and
now pitching for Foley, number 9.
Lots of opportunity here to add more to the total. Chmielewski on the hill. Dietl goes 3 2/3 inning. And up is Colton Haight. Haight is 1 for 3 with a walk. And with the bases loaded, first pitch is a fastball at the letters, strike 1. Pitch on the way, in the dirt, fielded by Van Wald. And it's a ball and a strike to Haight. Last time up in the 6th, Haight reached base with a single to left, but then he was eliminated on 1 of 3 force outs at second base. Fastball on the corner. A ball and 2 strikes. Setting the base paths for you at third base, pinch runner, as Tommy Eckstein had a base hit. At second base is Noah Christensen, and at first base, Ramon Vega Jr. 1-2 pitch in the dirt, gets away, but nobody was going. Christensen was halfway between second and third, but the runner at third brings the pinch runner and never made a break. 2-2 now, 1 out in the 7th. Chmielewski delivers. It's a pop into foul territory. It's going to be tough for the right fielder and first baseman, either or, to make the play, and they don't. Lands harmlessly into the grass in foul territory, and the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes for Colton Haight. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way to the right-handed hitting catcher, and he laces out to left. That's a base hit in front of Kipka, and that's going to score the run to make it 7-0. RBI single, and station-to-station baseball goes this Buffalo Bison team. Haight with the knock to left, his second straight hit that direction.
Second baseman.
Give him the RBI.
Jake Dusky.
And Jake Dusky comes to the plate. Christensen over at second base, or at third base now. Christensen at third. Vega at second. And Haight at first. Dusky the batter, and he's down in the count 0-2. 7-0 the score here in the 7th. Shimoleski delivers low, and the count is 1-2. 7 runs on 15 hits now for this Bulldog squad. Fouled right off of Dusky. Dusky 1 for 4 with a run scored. Right up the middle, and the station-to-station play will keep moving along. Base knock for Dusky is an RBI. 8-0 the score, and sliding away
Right
for
number
Foley.
27, Brett Renshaw.
Hates out at second base. Vega and Renshaw at the plate. 3 runs here in the 7th make it 8-0, and with 1 out. The dreaded double-digit lead is not too far. Again, Shimoleski goes inside. Two 2-0 the count, and he hits it up the middle, and that will score at least 1 run, and Dusky's going to score. Throw into the plate. Oh no, good throw by the center fielder. Dusky trying to score. That was actually Haight trying to score. I'm sorry, Dusky was running third, so Haight, the catcher, I'm ahead of myself 1 batter, is thrown out at the plate. So single RBI for Renshaw makes it 9-0. Second out recorded at home. Haight is thrown out on the good throw by Zawicki. So Vega scores on the RBI from Renshaw. Renshaw with 3 runs batted in on the game. And a pitching change is going to happen as Shimoleski coming out. See
Batting for Buffalo,
if they can move along.
left fielder number 9, J.D. O'Donnell.
J.D. O'Donnell coming to the plate. And O'Donnell is 0 for 4. Only one to not rack up a hit. He's got runners at the corners with 2 outs. 9-0 your score, and the first pitch from Foss is down low. So Renshaw now with 3 hits and 3 runs batted in, including the home run that made it 5-0. 2 balls, no strikes as Foss goes to the breaking ball. Outside, 3-0. Dusky at third, Renshaw over at first base. O'Donnell in this game, as I mentioned, 0 for 4, flew out to right, struck out, popped up to the second baseman, and grounded into a fielder's choice. Ground ball is fielded by the third baseman, throw all the way across and in time and with his foot on the bag. So Stay, now playing at third, was guarding the line, and he was there to make the play. He had to go down to a knee to get the job done, but O'Donnell goes out 5-3. He is the 9th batter of the inning, and we will go to the break at the 7th inning stretch. It's 9-0 Buffalo over Foley. We'll be right back on Prep Spotlight TV.
4 runs on 7 hits.
What's special about high school sports? The passion, the excitement, the memories.
Down on 3 at the buzzer. Good! It's good! Du Bois wins it for the Rebels.
It's about impacting your community, connecting your business to this audience. This is where your customers live, where they shop. This is their circle of life. This is where your business should be. Connect with your best potential customers. This is your invitation. Get in the game.
Look at the crowd here in Springfield. The 2020 State C Amateur Baseball Tournament rolls along. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning, and Early is still going. And he is going to get a first pitch swing from Keeler. And Mitch lines out right to the shortstop, Christensen.
Number 5, Tyler Midas.
And he is now 0 for 3. So, bottom of the 7th inning, and it has been a Buffalo Bulldog blitzing today. First pitch swung on a miss from Midas. Midas, the designated hitter, 0 for 2, 2 flyouts. Right from the get-go, and Buffalo finds themselves beginning to sense, maybe smell, chance to move on to the final 8 on Sunday. Quarterfinals. Early kicks and delivers and pitches outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Midas. There is work in the bullpen, and it looks like it's one of the drafted players for Buffalo. Maybe they will be saving Weber. John Weber's been their first guy out. Actually picked up the win in a short relief stint after Early went 4 innings in their last game. Swing and a miss, and Early gets the strikeout of Midas. And there's quickly 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 5 strikeouts for Early, and I'm wondering if that's enough, if he's seen the pitch count as it is, and that is going to be all. So Early goes 6 and 2/3 innings and gets a rousing applause from the fans here in Buffalo. John Early will pitch to see another day. We're going to take a commercial break so we can get the new pitchers line on our scorecard and be ready to go. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv. Again, we're going to take a look at the great day had here last week home run central. 3 home runs in one game, 7 RBI, all coming in. And we'll take a look at it here, as long as I can find it. There we go. On PrepSpotlight.tv. You take a look at the ballpark. Here in Springfield, outside. Beautiful shot as they were hosting got the logo up for their 2020 state tournament run. And remember, you can order the series Town Ball Uniquely Minnesota on Amazon. And if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can get it for free. That was 8-part series on Fox Sports North. Town Ball Uniquely Minnesota, produced by Big G Media. All right, back to the scorebug here, and it is 9-0 with 2 outs, and this is Nick Kay. Kay coming from Loretto, a draft choice from Loretto, and he pitched an inning in the game last week in their win over Morris. 1 ball, no strikes. Second pitch misses as well to Mitch Logering. So early, his line is done, 6 2/3. He gives up just 2 hits, no runs. Hit a batter, struck out 5. So early has done his job in pitching his team to the quarterfinals. 3 balls, no strikes as Kay comes in and might promptly walk a batter with 2 down here in the 7th. But he gets the fastball over for the strike. Kay, big right-hander, wearing number 34, Loretto's jerseys, white with the blue sleeves. White and blue cap. 3-1 pitch misses low, and Logering is the 4th base runner of the game.
Catcher, number 10, Ian Von Wald.
Von Wald takes off his catcher's gear and gets ready on deck to come in now with 2 outs and the runner at first base. Von Wald 0 for 2. He's gone down swinging and looking. 2 of Early's 5 strikeouts. 2 down. Walk, runner at first base. 9-0. Kay kicks and delivers and misses inside and low, ball 1. Breaking ball, misses outside, and now he's down in the count 2-0 after walking. Logering. My guess is that Corey Braun fetched early, give him a chance for the ovation that he received from the 100-plus Buffalo fans that made the trip. Again, it's 125 tickets per is what's allotted, and then what's not sold you get other folks can come in and buy in the COVID world. 2 balls and a strike. Bottom of the 7th inning. 2 hours into this game, and it's fouled straight back. Von Wald trying to reach base or make contact. Has the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kay checks the runner at first, gets to the set at his belt, and ground ball towards short. Christensen's there and boots it. Kind of let that one come up and play him, looking at the runner at second, and an error. And just like that, you just, like you say, you never know about baseball. You never know what starts what, and you walk a guy coming in, and then you have an error, and you never know. Stay, who has a base hit, one of 2 base hits for Foley at the plate. And first pitch misses inside. Nick Kay pitched an inning in last week's game. Misses inside again, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. 9-0 the score. There are 2 outs. Early got 2 outs before he was removed, and the breaking ball misses up, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. Kay with a base hit in his only a bat tonight. Came in for at third base for Brandon Biskins, and Kay takes the strike at 3-0. Kay delivers, and it's a fly ball out to right. Renshaw's going back, and gone. So Kay homers to right field. A 3-run shot, and the Foley Lumberjacks have cut their deficit by a third. One swing of the bat. 3-run home run for Kay. 9-3 your score. That scores Logering and Von Wall. And it's back to a 6-run game. Pinch hitter.
Brings up number 44, Rich Rasmussen.
Rich Rasmussen up. Pinch hitting for Kyle Kipka, the left fielder. Foley on the verge of maybe even being 10 run. Instead, they are now back to just 6 down. Tony Stay, the blast. Pitch low, and unable to get ahead of any of the batters that he's faced is Kay. One 0 to Rasmussen, the pinch hitter, and he swings and misses. 1-1. More work in the Foley bullpen, so there's a chance of another pitcher coming in. They're already on pitcher number 4. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rasmussen fooled by the breaking ball. Bounces the bat off his shoulder 3 times and nubs it towards second base. Charging is Dusky, and the throw on to first base. So they get out of the inning, but 3 runs scored, all with 2 outs, a walk, an error, and a blast. And that makes it 9-3. 3 runs on just 1 hit, but it was a big one. So let's take a break. We'll be back at PrepSpotlight.tv. Now we'll go back to watching the Duffner 3-home run performance last week.
This one driven to the gap in left center field. It's a deep ball, and it's going to land, and it's gone! A 2-run home run for Cold Spring. Duffner makes it a 2-0 game here in the top of the first inning. Driven to right, Call watches it go over his head. Back-to-back 2-run homers for the first baseman, Duffner. Austin Duffner makes it 5-0 Cold Spring. 1 strike on Duffner as Weiss kicks and fires this one. Driven to center field. Back is Rucker. Does he do it again? Yes, he does! 3 home runs for Duffner! And it's 10-3 Cold Spring. Unbelievable. My goodness. Austin Duffner with 3 home runs.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us on PrepSpotlight.tv. We're in the 8th inning of this game. Buffalo leading at 9-3 as Foley gets the 3-run homer from Tony Stay. Foss still pitching. This is Kai Brisk. Brisk with 2 base hits and a run, scored. He's reached base 3 times. Breaking ball, in for a strike, and it's a ball and 2 strikes now to Brisk. Doubled and scored in the 2nd inning. That made the score 2-0. Lifts it out to right. Another play that's tough to make, and another base hit. Base hit number 18. We've seen that one 3 times, that exact same off the end of the bat base knock. So Brisk, 3 base knocks now.
Number 47, Ethan Hansen.
Ethan Hansen at the plate. Hansen scored in both his first times up, reaching on an error and a fielder's choice. He's 1 for 4. Been on base all 4 times, though, and looking at sacrificing him over. Hansen, the high schooler, wearing number 47. Same thing. Pitch down low, 2 balls and no strikes. Still plenty of games to watch and buy for the package on PrepSpotlight.tv. Or if you're just following one team and follow them the rest of their way in. Great games and everything fun to watch as you see baseball in Minnesota from all 4 corners and every county almost represented. A walk to Hansen. And runners are at first and second.
Designated hitter, number 3, Tommy Eckstein.
Eckstein with 2 base hits and a run scored. They're still going to work on the bunt. Eckstein drops it down. Foss throws over to the first baseman, Keeler. So a sack, 1-3, moves the runners over.
Sacrifice bunt brings up the shortstop.
And Noah Christensen comes to the plate.
Christensen
has reached base with 3 base hits the last 3 times up, including a bunt single. Swinging away as the infield is in with the runners at second and third. 9 runs on 18 hits now. One ball and 1 strike. Pitch from Foss is just up, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Everybody playing step off, well, the right side step off the grass, and now Byer also backs up off the grass. Hansen at second. Kai Brisk at third. Lifted out towards center field. It's shallow. And Zawicki is there, and Zawicki will make the play for the second out. So Christensen's unable to advance the runners as the ball gets away from the cutoff and the catcher, but nobody moves along.
Center fielder, number 2, Ramon Vega Jr.
Ramon Vega Jr. coming to the plate. 2 base hits on the game, including a 2-run scoring triple. Made the score 3-0. So with 2 outs, Foss, breaking ball, misses up high, ball 1. And we'll make a pitching change after the breaking ball misses. So Byer will shift things around. Foss is out of the game. And they're going to one of their draftees coming out, a left. On a fielder's choice in the 6th, singled and scored in the 7th.
Now pitching for Foley, number 17, Jeff Amon.
And as usual, the public address announcer and I do not see eye to eye on the pronunciation. Pronounce it Amon. Jeff, the lefty, in his gold top with some red trimming and the red cap, red stirrups, or red hose, I guess you would say. He's at the plate with runners at second on the mound with runners at second and third. He inherits a 1-ball count, and now it's 2 balls and no strikes to the number 1 hitter Vega Jr., Ramon Vega Jr. Top of the 8th inning. 2-0 pitch hits the batter, and we've got bases loaded. Bases are juiced for the catcher, Colton Haight.
Up the catcher, Colton Haight.
Haight with 2 base hits in his last trips up. He's reached base 3 times. 2 for 4 on the game with an RBI. He's not scored a run. They've scored 9 times, and with 2 outs and bases loaded, on the verge again. Number 2 hitter Haight. 5 for 13 now in this tournament. Fastball over for a strike from the lefty, Amon. Oh, 1 pitch misses wide, but it bounces hard back. As I was saying before, not a lot of room between the catcher and the backstop here. Lots of space. If something were to kick to the right or left, you might be able to run for 2 bases. There's a lot of room. But directly behind home plate, it's cozy to the front row of the grandstand here in Springfield. Bases are full of Bulldogs, and that's back-to-back hit batters. And that scores a run, and it's now 10-3. That's an RBI the hard way, his second of the game.
Number 1, Jake Dusky.
Scoring the run is Brisk, his second run of the game. And Dusky comes up in the count 1-0. 10-3 your score. Pitch outside. 10 runs on 18 hits. 1 error for each team. Anson at third. Vega at second. 3-0 the count. Haight is at first. 2 outs. Amon the pitcher, and he gets a strike over on the outside corner. The lefty from Sartell, the Stone Ponies. 3-1 pitch on the way, outside, and another run will score on a walk. He crossed the 11-run barrier, and Dusky with an RBI. His second. And another pitching change is made, so as much as anything, we're just filling up the score sheet as much as possible. And it'll be the manager's son, Drew Byer, who comes in to pitch. 11-3 is your score. Bases are still loaded. We'll look at some more highlights. We'll be back after this.
Now backs up. Arnold serves one into left, and that's a base hit. And Chanhassen takes the lead right back. 0-1 to Halleck. Back and off the foot of the pitcher. It bounces towards left field. Kolpak coming home. The throw to the plate. Not in time. The game is tied at 5. 1-2 pitch. Base hit right field. That'll do it. Matt Oy comes up and pokes one through the drawn-in infield. And the Moorhead Brewers win it 6-5 in 10 innings. Weiss kicks and fires this one. Driven to center field. Back is Rucker. Does he do it again? Yes, he does! 3 home runs for Duffner! And it's 10-3 Gold Spring. Unbelievable.
Runs scored here today. Here's the 2-2. Strike 3. Another one gone. McCoy Rodney goes down on strikes, and there's 2 away now.
So Drew Byer on the hill. Thought maybe we'd see Mike the chance to pitch tonight, as this one has gotten away again. They had a glimmer of hope with a 3-run homer by Tony Stay in the 7th inning, making it 9-3, but now another 2 runs scored.
Now batting, 27, right fielder, Brett Renshaw.
2 hit batters and a walk in the 3 batters faced by Ammon. And that brings up Byer to Renshaw. Renshaw, one of 2 home runs hit in the game. 1 for each team. Renshaw solo shot. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. 11-3 is your score. As for the 4th time in 8 innings, the Bulldogs have put up a crooked number on the scoreboard. At third base, Vega Jr. At second base, Haight. And at first base is Dusky. Renshaw, the batter. And he grounds it towards third. All the way across the throw, and it doesn't get fielded, so that's going to allow 2 runs to score, and maybe 3. Dusky's going to come all the way around from first base, and Dusky scores. So all 3 runs score on the throwing air, and Albert at third base now. Playing at third base was the original designated hitter, so they moved Stay over to short. So over at third now was Midas. Midas makes the throwing air on the Renshaw ground ball.
Left fielder.
And everybody scores.
O'Donnell.
So that makes the score 13 to 3, I'm sorry. (14-3), that's what I thought, as they correct the scoreboard, and we'll put our score bug up. 14-3 here in the top of the 8th. And the pitch to J.D. O'Donnell. And O'Donnell lifts it towards right. They had him playing shallow. Could be a collision, but it isn't. Logering makes the play for the 3rd out of the inning. So again, they bat 9 batters. They've done that 3 times tonight where they've batted 9 batters. And we'll keep it here as the Foley squad needs to score 2 runs to keep this game going. Otherwise, we'll be 10-run. But 14 runs on 18 hits, 2 errors now for the Lumberjacks team. 1 error for the Bulldogs.
1 left on base. Heading to the bottom of the 8th. Foley needs at least 2 to keep this thing going. They trail 14-3. Score update from Milroy. Cold Springs scored 2, and they now lead 3-1 going to the 9th.
You might be hearing the public address announcer. 3-1 now. Cold Springs over. The Springers are going to be playing tomorrow. They had a lead in their Class B game on Sunday and watched a 2-run lead evaporate in the 9th, so they're coming back through the losers side, and I didn't mean to accentuate the word losers by any way. In fact, the alternative bracket. I don't know if that's right. The other side of the bracket, that the teams where you haven't won every game. On PrepSpotlight.tv tonight, and it looks like Buffalo will be moving on here to the final 8. But baseball is never over till the final out is recorded by the rules of the game. Let's see what happens here in the 8th inning. And Zawicki comes to the plate. Zawicki is 1 for 1. And the old 953 comes through Springfield. Along Highway 14, you can hear the train. I think it's early tonight. I think it's supposed to be here at 10:10, but it's 17 minutes early. First pitch to Zawicki from Vogt. 14-3 is your score, and Zawicki lines it out to left, and O'Donnell is there to make the play. So Zawicki 1 down. And Foley coming into their third straight tournament appearance.
Number 34, Wyatt Zwicky.
Winning 2 games. They're one of the batch of teams that had to play a first-round game, and then they went up and knocked off a region champion, beat New Prague 4-0 last week. And they did it with sensational pitching, and that pitching tonight just never materialized. JT Harn just fell behind hitters, never in command like he was last week, and as reports were he was 2 weeks ago when he came in out of the bullpen to pitch 8 solid innings in relief. Little blooper over the head of the first baseman for a pinch hitter. And the single for Foley's number 34, Wyatt Zwicky. Oh, that's right. He had come into the game for Winkleman. That's not a pinch hitter. He had already been into the game. So Winkleman in, or Winkleman out, Wyatt Zwicky in, and Drew Byer to the plate. So base hit there. That is base hit number 4 for Foley. And runner on first and 1 out, and Drew Byer looks at strike 1. Drew 0 for 3. Grounded out in the first, struck out looking in the 4th, and popped up in the 6th inning. So trying to mark the scorecard in a positive way is Drew Byer, and a breaking ball misses off the plate inside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. 14-3. Buffalo scoring 9 runs in the last couple innings. Line drive out to center, and the catch is going to be made by the center fielder. Had him playing in, and Vega Jr. makes the play. So Ramon Vega Jr. tracks it down, slides, catches it, and there's 2 down.
Number 24, Mitch Keeler.
So Mitch Keeler comes to the plate. Keeler 0 for 3 as well. They need 2 runs to keep this thing going. Buffalo would probably more than likely rather not have to play another inning. Rest it up a little bit. Probably every inning counts if you think you're going to be successful in a 4-game weekend. First pitch into Keeler is a strike. Zwicky at first base. Vogt drops in another breaking ball, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. So as it breaks down here, you're going to give John Early the win. He'll be 2-0 now in tournament play. He was solid in every aspect of the game. Defense behind him good as well. Error committed after he left the game. So Buffalo picks up win number 3 more than likely here. Fastball misses just off the plate. 2-2 the count. Be back here tomorrow. Ryan Phelps will have the 3 games in Springfield, while Ren Clayton will be doing the 3 games in Milroy. And that's the ballgame. Swing and a miss from Mitch Keeler. And no runs on 1 base hit, 1 left on base.
Buffalo 14, Foley.
It's a 10-run rule.
Congratulations
and
to both
Buffalo
teams for being here this weekend.
Is on to the final 8.
2 games at the same
They'll be
tournament.
waiting to
Both
see who
these
wins the
teams did.
Jordan Fairmont game.
That's not too shabby. Nothing to be ashamed of there. Buffalo moves on. They will play next.
Mike Byer and the Foley Lumberjacks will be heading
Sunday, right here in Springfield at noon.
And Buffalo will be playing at noon on Sunday.
Again, congratulations to both teams.
Again, the
on,
final score here tonight,
season.
Buffalo 14 runs on
Thank
18
you so
hits,
much,
1
fans,
error.
for coming out tonight. Please grab
The
your garbage,
Foley
recycling,
Lumberjacks,
put in the appropriate
3 runs on 4 hits and 2 errors. The Bulldogs scoring 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, and they were never going to be headed after that point. 4 more in the 7th and 5 in the 8th. The winning pitcher is John Early. The losing pitcher goes to JT Harn.
$1.
He goes to 2-1 in the tournament.
Again, thank
Early
you so much for
2-0.
coming out. Thank you
And
to all the
no save
volunteers
in the
for
14-3
all their
game.
help.
So that wraps us up here. We appreciate your joining us on state tournament weeks. This is the fourth weekend of baseball in the state of Minnesota. We started Class A, and now we're wrapping up the third weeks in Classes B and C. Got 2 more days of baseball in Class B, 3 more here in Class C. Glad you joined us, glad you subscribed, glad you're a part of the fun here of amateur baseball in Minnesota, town ball we like to call it, and you've been part of it as a subscriber on PrepSpotlight.tv. We're going to say goodbye. Andy Price, Dave Whitman with you here in Springfield. 14-3 the final. Buffalo moves on. Foley's season is complete. Good night, everybody.
That means Cold Spring.
The 2020 Class C Minnesota Amateur Baseball Tournament is brought to you in partnership with the Minnesota Baseball Association and presented to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 is the hub for all things sports with the Xfinity Sports Zone. And Wings Financial. We're for people like you.